Oh, sweet Caroline, sweet Caroline. I wanna cover this young lady, the White House press secretary, who actually got who got the job off of merit. And I'll show you right here. Got a bright light coming, guys. She's got an extensive background for a young lady. She's only 27, and as you can see, early life and education. Obviously, he's done a lot. Got her job based on merit. But I want to react to her first press conference. I'm kind of late to it. I believe it was Monday. I watched the whole thing live, and I tried to find the shortest clip to give a highlight of what she did. So let's check it out.
How are we? Good to see all of you. It's an honor to be here with all of you. A lot of familiar faces in the room, a lot of new faces. And President Trump is back, and the golden age of America has most definitely begun. This White House believes strongly in the First Amendment, so it's why our team will work diligently to restore the press passes of the 440 journalists whose passes were wrongly revoked by the previous administration. We're also opening up this briefing room to new media voices.
Now, before she gets started with that, I got to say, the 440 people that the White House press secretary, the DEI hire that they had before, cringe John Pierre, because she was cringy, the worst press secretary in American history. Second is Jen Circleback Psaki. What do you see the difference here, first of all, in the first 33 seconds? Did she say, oh, I'm the first, I'm a white lady and I sleep with men and all this other stuff? No, she didn't say any of that. She just said, hey, I'm here, blah, 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 blah. Let's get to work. Transparency, not a big notepad and notebook and all this stuff. She's got some notes and stuff, of course. She's got a lot of things to do, but she's not just like scrolling through notes. And she came out strong, dressed conservatively. And also she's just, very transparent and very strong. And I got a funny feeling we're going to get a lot of good clips from her. And I love the fact that they're moving on from the mainstream media that she's going to talk about today and gave the people back that got their press passes revoked, the 440. Now, what do you think they were? Do you think they were Democrat journalists or Republican journalists? What do you think? Exactly. So let's see what she has to say.
Who produce news-related content and whose outlet revoked by the previous administration. We're also opening up this briefing room to new media voices who produce news-related content and whose outlet is not already represented by one of the seats in this room. We welcome independent journalists, podcasters, social media influencers, and content creators to apply for credentials to cover this White House.
Ding, 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 ladies and gentlemen. They hate that. Now, let me stop it right there. The mainstream media's whole job is to tell you a story based on their narrative, right? They don't want the truth to come out. They hate the fact that not only are they losing viewership and firing people and have to change, but they hate the fact that these not little, but big podcasts like Joe Rogan and the rest of them are coming out and telling the truth and are actually getting more views than they are. What, the CNNs, the MSDNCs, NBC, ABC, CBS, PBS, they're getting more, people believe them more because nobody believes the mainstream media anymore, except that small fringe of people like I showed you in the protesters. And they hate the fact that people are getting the truth, not the one they spin up in the narrative, but something outside of that, and they can't stand that. And I love this. This is the first time in history that we've had, because again, the world is changing, that we've had people that were quote unquote not journalists. First of all, journalism is dead. I'll get into that in a second. But journalists that don't have a degree and stuff like that. People that just have a microphone like this and speaking truth to power. You know what I mean? And they can't stand that. And I love the fact that they're saying, you know what? These people help us win, the Trump team, the Trump White House. And say, you know what? We're going to let all these people in as long as you get, your credentials right with the Secret Service and everything else. I absolutely love it. But journalism is dead, guys. There's not journalists in this country anymore. There's a few of them, but they're quote unquote they pretend to be journalists, but they're disguised as journalists, but they're propagandists and activists. They pretend to be that. Like if you look at Joy Reid on MSDNC, and what's her name, or what's his name, or her name, Rachel Maddow, aka Pat from Saturday Night Live. These people are opinion people. You know what I mean? Sean Hannity's an opinion guy, but he doesn't pretend to be a journalist. The only journalist that I can think of off the top of my head is Brett Baer from Fox. He's not an opinion guy. He's actually a journalist, and a few others. But as far as like, what is it, the election coverage and stuff like that, when you see the panel on MSDNC and CNN, it's nothing but a bunch of opinionated stuff. They're not giving you down-the-middle journalism. They're just giving you a bunch of opinions based on their narratives and their lives. So I love the fact that they're bringing in these new people in the White House. It's very transparent. The most transparent White House in history, by the way, with all the social media and stuff. So I love it.
And before I turn to questions, I do have news directly from the President of the United States that was just shared with me in the Oval Office. From President Trump directly, an update on the New Jersey drones. After research and study, the drones that were flying over New Jersey in large numbers were authorized to be flown by the FAA for research and various other reasons. Many of these drones were also hobbyists, recreational, and private individuals that enjoy flying drones. In time, it got worse due to curiosity. This was not the enemy. Peter.
That's what I like to hear. And again, we conspiracy theory / tinfoil hat wearers, we came up with a lot of things because the administration, the prior administration, the Biden president in name only administration, because he wasn't a president and he wasn't running anything, because they didn't come out and tell us this. Now, this is the 8th day of Trump's presidency at this point. I believe this was on a Monday. And he got sworn in on, or was this Tuesday? It might have been Tuesday. I think it was the 8th day, yeah. And they just came out and told us within the first 10 days. You know what I mean? Why couldn't Biden do this? Well, we obviously know Biden is not running anything. But why couldn't the Biden administration find this out? Why not? You know what I mean? So when you don't tell us stuff and come out and say, this is what the drones were, blah, 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 like she just said, which is great news, by the way. And I believe them because they have credibility now, these people. The Trump administration, because I haven't seen them tell any lies yet. And I know that my comment section is going to get on fire for saying that. But why didn't they come out and tell us about the drones? You know, that's why we thought it was some funny business. So I'm glad they came out with that, and I'm glad they were transparent about it. I love this, man.
Just Karoline, very quickly, just following
the enemy. Peter.
Karoline, very quickly, just following up on the question on immigration first. President Trump, during the course of the campaign in 2024, said the following about illegal immigration. He said, they're going back home where they belong, and we start with the criminals. There are many, many criminals. NBC News has learned that ICE arrested 1,179 undocumented immigrants on Sunday, but nearly half of them, 566 of the migrants, appear to have no prior criminal record besides entering the country illegally. Is the president still focused exclusively, which is a civil crime, it's not criminal?
It's a federal crime.
So I'm asking though, he said he was going to focus on those violent offenders first. So is violent offenders no longer the predicate for these people to be deported?
Hold on, Karoline, before you get into it, honey. I know you're going to kill it. But you see how they spin it? Well, Trump said he was going to get the gang members and the bad guys. Why are you just getting the people that haven't committed crime in America? You are a criminal if you come over here. Again, if this is my house, right? If my cousin came over here or somebody or my friend or whatever, and they had a bunch of drugs on them and came to my house, right? And let's just say I knew they were a drug dealer or I didn't know they were a drug dealer, right? If the cops come and arrest him, then if I have drugs in my pocket as well, or I'm in the house or whatever, I'm probably going to get arrested too because I'm committing a crime. Now, if I didn't do anything, they found out later I didn't do it. But again, the person that is in the house illegally, whether they committed a crime in America or not, you are a criminal because you crossed the border illegally, period. That was a bad example. Sorry, guys. I usually do good examples. But so if you're around a quote unquote bad guy or a, gang member or drug dealer or something like that, and you're in the house with them and you happen to have be an illegal immigrant without your paperwork, you're getting arrested. And also too, even if you are an American and you're with that person, they're going to detain you and they're going to figure out what's going on with you as well. Are you an illegal? Are you a criminal? Are you this and that? They're going to do that. They're not going to send you over just because you're, with them and you're quote unquote brown or, that's what they're trying to do now, is to try to spin it. But this is what I'm talking about and obviously that guy was a lefty. So basically he's saying on their side, on the Democrat side is, hey, why are you going after these innocent people? All they did was cross the border illegally. And she is about to absolutely eviscerate this guy. I love it, man. But these people are idiots, man.
The predicate for these people to be deported.
The president has said countless times on the campaign trail, I've been with him at the rallies, I know you've been there covering them too, Peter, that he is focused on launching the largest mass deportation operation in American history of illegal criminals. And if you are an individual, a foreign national, who illegally enters the United States of America, you are, by definition, a criminal. And so therefore, you are subject to deportation.
I apologize for interrupting.
Boom. Any questions, ladies and gentlemen? It's really that simple.
So to be clear, it's not violent criminals do not receive precedence in terms of the deportations taking place.
The president has also said two things can be true at the same time. We want to deport illegal criminals, illegal immigrants from this country, but the president has said that, of course, the illegal criminal drug dealers, the rapists, the murderers, the individuals who have committed heinous acts on the interior of our country and who have terrorized law-abiding American citizens, absolutely, those should be the priority of ICE, but that doesn't mean that the other illegal criminals who entered our nation's borders are off the table.
Karoline, on immigration, of the 3,500 arrests ICE has made so far since President Trump came back into office, can you just tell us the numbers? How many have a criminal record versus those who are just in the country?
Tell us the numbers, Karoline. Trump said he's only going to get the really, really bad guys. He's gotten this many. Can you tell us how many were innocent, illegal immigrants that didn't have any criminal crime or whatever in America? Can you tell us the number? Again, they're not journalists, guys. They're propagandists and activists. They're not trying to get answers to real questions. They're trying to get gotchas. You know what I mean? And obviously she's a lefty, so.
President Trump came back into office. Can you just tell us the numbers? How many have a criminal record versus those who are just in the country illegally?
All of them, because they illegally broke our nation's laws and therefore they are criminals as far as this administration goes. I know the last administration didn't see it that way, so it's a big culture shift in our nation to view someone who breaks our immigration laws as a criminal, but that's exactly what they are.
Drop the mic, Karoline. Boom! That's what I'm talking about, man. Set these people straight. Set the precedent and the tone from day one, and I'm loving it. And they're going to try her, and the more they try her and do these things, the worse they're going to look. They're going to keep doing the propaganda. They're going to keep doing the nonsense and the BS and the gotcha questions. And in the meantime, they're letting real people that are asking real questions come in, and these people are going to look stupid. Again, Trump got a overwhelming mandate from the United States of America, and most people agree with these common sense situations he's doing, laws, or common sense executive orders. Sorry, it's early, guys. To get these illegals out of the country. That's what most people want. You know what I mean? So again, if the majority of the people voted for him, he campaigned on this, what are you bitching about? It's going to be futile, man. And I'm loving it. Just keep calling these idiots out, man. And let everybody in. Let the lefty sit in the front. Her main objective is going to be, her main adversary for Karoline is going to be that idiot woman from CNN. What's her name? The one that looks like Dylan Mulvaney with the resting BITCH face. What's her name? Caitlin Collins. She looks like Dylan Mulvaney. I can't stand that woman. That woman's evil to me, period. So, yeah, I'm loving this, man.
Christian Dayton.
Thanks, Karoline. Just real quick, you mentioned the inflation executive order the president signed, but egg prices have skyrocketed since President Trump took office. So what specifically is he doing to lower those costs for Americans?
Really glad you brought this up, because there is a lot of reporting out there that is putting the onus on this White House for the increased cost of eggs. I would like to point out to each and every one of you that in 2024, when Joe Biden was in the Oval Office, or upstairs in the residence sleeping, I'm not so sure, egg prices increased 65% in this country. We also have seen the cost of everything, not just eggs. Bacon, groceries, gasoline have increased because of the inflationary policies of the last administration. As far as the egg shortage, what's also contributing to that is that the Biden administration and the Department of Agriculture directed the mass killing of more than 100 million chickens, which has led to a lack of chicken supply in this country, therefore a lack of egg supply, which is leading to the shortage. So I will leave you with this point. This is an example of why it's so incredibly important that the Senate moves swiftly to confirm all of President Trump's nominees, including his nominee for the United States Department of Agriculture, Brooke Rollins, who is already speaking with Kevin Hassett, who's leading the economic team here at the White House, on how we can address the egg shortage in this country. As for costs, I laid out the plethora of ways that President Trump has addressed saving costs for the American people over the past week. He looks forward to continuing to doing that in the days ahead. Thank you, guys.
Boom. Wow. Wow. Now, what does she do there in that stupid ass question? First of all, she answered it, right? And she basically said, no, it's not because Trump just got in office a week ago, dude. So, of course, the prices of eggs, because they're all saying now, oh, well, I thought he's going to bring inflation down. Of course, it's going to take a few months or maybe a year or two or whatever. It's going to take a while. It's a lag effect. But she answered the question. It's all about supply and demand. And the last administration killed 100 million egg-laying chickens, and that's what happened. You know what I mean? And she basically told it why, told the truth, and then gave a plan on how they're going to bring the prices down for eggs and everything else. So, again, solid answers, not looking through the book, oh, I'll circle back, or, I really don't have that answer. I'm absolutely loving this, and I'm going to cover her. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And again, guys, listen, stack some Bitcoin so you can really get some inflation down and make sure we're fighting against the lies of the mainstream media, the propaganda, and the nonsense and the brainwashing, and make sure we're out here fighting for freedom every day, all right? I love each and every one of you, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace and love, guys.